Hi, Cal.
Hello. Randy.
Nice to meet you,
How are you?
Good. How are yourself?
Almost late.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna make sure the phone is on mute. Alright, yeah. So, today class, do you guys have material?
I printed out things a long time ago, and I don't
Okay.
have that in here, so.
If not, then I can make a copy. Randy, do you have it?
I have 0.
No? Okay, so let me get a copy for you, real quick. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Perfect, see? You're on it.
That's why I'm plugged in.
Jessica, I'm just working on the material and she'll be right back.
Thank you.
So we have 4 and 5 and 6, and I don't have 5.
So, yeah, yes, we will do it on this one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know if I have I didn't print out the.
Usually just take a look. We did power session 6, right? That's 4. That's 4, yeah, so you're on, so you're in the middle. That's fine, Jessica, she's bringing the material.
Oh, okay.
We all got it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Welcome in, Monday morning, 9 o'clock, our appointment. Prepare to work with buyers.
Very important thing to know about the buyers. First thing, that they are very less expensive to work with. The thing being, they could be the first one to make the money from. The only thing that you need to do is just prepare yourself so that you are not wasting their time and your time. And this whole session is about how you will be preparing your buyers. First, to utilize the full extent of the time that you have to show how professional you are. And second, to put their motivation and their need first so they do feel the value that you're going to bring to them. Very important. So in the material, they mentioned that the only cost that you're going to have with the buyers is first the time and second the gas. Two things, right? So now time is the one that you have full control on, that you can control whether you're willing to spend 4 hours for one buyer to get in contract or you're willing to spend 20 hours on one buyer to get in contract. That is absolutely what we're going to cover today to make sure that we are utilizing all the tools. We know what to do with the buyers, and second, so that we can only spend 4 hours or 6 hours depending on like what type of buyer you're getting. As long as you're educating them and you're going through the whole process, you're gonna make your money, period, right? The only thing that obviously, the other expense is gas, which is nothing. Even on one buyer, on average, if you end up spending $50 to $100 on a gas, that's nothing, depending on what you're gonna make out of commission in thousands, right? So we're gonna cover two things. First, how to make sure that the buyers that you have, they're all qualified, and how you will get them in contract within 4 to 6 hours of your time frame in order to get them the house in contract. And keep in mind, there is a process to follow after that as well, right? Hey, Pat.
Hello.
All right, dear.
Just want me to bring this one in?
Yes, please. Okay, Randy needs it. It's just one? I think she's printing more, right? Okay. Okay.
Can I get one possible?
Yes. We'll. Jillian, you have it. George, do you have it here? No? Okay, so we need 3 more. Okay, that's fine. We'll cover it. So we're gonna get started. Today we are there are 18 sessions for Ignite. I know Susan asked a great question. Hey, I missed a couple. Does it matter that if I could, miss the link of completing the course? I would highly recommend to complete the whole course, because every course, it is specifically niching on one aspect of real estate. Education is key, training is key. The good thing is that you need to get yourself prepared for every aspect so that you can make money. Now, the very important thing that I'm gonna ask today, that all of you're gonna learn a lot, but keep in mind, only thing that I'm expecting from you is to learn 2 ahas, implement those ahas. That's it. Our topic today is to prepare the buyers, right? How we will be working with the buyers in order to get our commission or our income made. So you need to learn everything that you can, but pick 2 nuggets that you learn out of this class and promise that you will be implementing those 2 nuggets, right? You can learn 20 things out of class. Good. Every training is a 2-hour class training, so you would probably be overwhelmed. Oh my God, this is too much to do. But if you narrow it down, promising yourself that, hey, I'm gonna learn 2 things and I'll be implementing those 2 things, and guess what? You're gonna see the value of what you have decided to implement in your business. If you learn it and don't implement it, it doesn't work. We have the tendency to learn a lot, but when it comes to the action, if we don't take that action, that's where, it costs us more, not only on the financial end, but on the, on the emotional end, on other ends as well. So it's together. Today, we just gonna make sure that we'll learn 2 things and we'll implement 2 things. If you're willing to do 5, high five, do it. But I'm expecting at least 2. That's what my agenda is. At any training that I go to, I can learn a lot, but I commit myself. I'm only gonna at least implement 2 out of it. 2 nuggets that's gonna help me grow. That I see the value. Okay, you know what? I'm not doing this. What if I could have done that where my business could grow? You guys need to pick that 2 ahas. Susan, your aha could be different than George. Randy's could be different than Pat's. Jillian's could be different than Raul. It's like, okay, what you guys think that you are good at have not done it, and you're gonna do it. Can I get that from us? Right? So I'm gonna ask at the end of the session, what are the 2 ahas that you guys learn out of this class, and what you will be implementing. Fair? Okay. So today we are covering the session 6, prepare to work with the buyers. They says the daily 10-4. What does that mean is very important thing. What they want you to do is lead generate. Every day, make minimum of 10 calls. Minimum of 10 calls, make it. Write 10 notes. Do 10 different activities pertaining to real estate. So you just need to, what you need to do is just set your schedule for that lead generation. The 10 calls, the 10 notes, the 10 emails, 10 things that you gotta do every day. Add 10 people in your database. So 10 things, it is that simple. If you think that you can start off with 5, do it. But if you set high, that's where you're gonna, get your goal. If you have to aim high on that. So make sure you do 10 phone calls, add 10 people on your database, and at least write 10 notes, send 10 emails. Do your lead generation. That's your daily activity, no matter what. Whether you're doing 10 transactions in a day, bless you, or you're doing 0 transactions right now. But those are the things that you have to do every day. Lead generation is the engine for your business. If it keeps running, your train gonna go. The minute it stops, everything gonna stop. They say that if you do lead generation, everything follows that, right? So 10 things that you gotta do every day. Very important, lead generation. Do it. Every day, do it. And then what you can do is, again, every person has a different personality. You need to make sure that, okay, you challenge yourself. Okay, if I'm doing 10 calls, or if I'm adding 10 people in my database, what is it that has went wrong? What is it that has went right? What are the challenges that I have done? What is the result that I got out of it? You have to analyze those results in order to make sure that the things that you're doing, they are producing you the results. If the results are not getting there, there is something wrong that has not been done. Something that you are not doing it right. It might be just like qualifying your buyers right away. You may be saying, oh, you know what, Cal, I have 5 buyers that I'm working with and I'm showing them the houses, but it's almost been like 2 months they're not in contract. 5 buyers, almost, even if you average it out $2,000 in commission, I'm just lowballing. Say 5 buyers, $2,000 per commission, $10,000 in a month, that's sitting in your pipeline for 2 months and you couldn't get it. What's going on? Something is not right. And the session that we are doing right now is what's going to cover that, how those 5 buyers who are in your pipeline and you have the potential of a minimum even earning $2,000, $10,000 is just sitting in your pipeline and you can't get it. We need to dig it. Why is it that you can't get that $10,000? That's it. Money is what it motivates everybody, and I get that it's very simple and plain. We all have family to feed. We all have needs to do. So now we want to make sure the buyers in real estate, which is the easiest tool to make money, to start off with, new agents, they do that. Eventually I did it, right? Everybody, it's the easiest step that you can get in order to make money. That is just the minute you got your first check, that's your inspiration and motivation right there. You got 1, you're gonna go for 2. You got 2, you're gonna go for 4. Because we have the tendency to double everything up. So now, what you need to do is, first you need to set the goal up. If you guys are all new, you just need to set the goal up. Okay, how many transactions that I'm gonna do for the rest of the year, average the commission that you're gonna get out of it, and that's the money that you're gonna shoot for. And buyers are the way that you're gonna get it right away. Not that, sellers produce money as well. So if you're getting listing, great, go for it. But buyers are the one that you need to first set your goals, calculate how much money it's gonna produce on an average. Right now, what's the average price? Do you know? What's the average sales price on a property here? Grassville is different. So, okay, yeah, Jillian, what's the average price, my dear?
200.
200 to 250 average, right? So what you need to do is if you say, hey, I'm gonna do 5 transactions in this year, great, do the maths. 5 transactions, how much you're gonna make the money? And that's the goal for the year. And then guess what? Even if you are doing 5 transactions, you're probably gonna see the value. Okay, if I could do those 5, what my cost is, right? First 3 transactions, they have a mentorship program as well. It's gonna help you a lot. If you don't know anything, just go over everything. But once you get started, it's gonna go rolling as long as you have systems and as long as you know what to do, right? So first thing, make sure you do your lead generation. No matter what, do your lead generation. Now, on page 4, they says that get your head in the game. First, finding buyers is simple. What are the sources that you could find the buyers? What are the sources where you could find the buyers?
Open house.
First, open house. Second, database. Third, Craigslist. Advertising. Fourth, referrals as well, right? So the top easiest one is open house, where you're professionally announcing yourself as a professional agent who is willing to help you by finding a house. And if anybody is showing at the open house, guess what? They're raising their hands. They're all thinking about getting a house. Your first intent at the open house to find out, are you in the market to buy or sell? Be very confident. Just engage yourself and you will find out how to qualify those leads from the open house. Internet is the other source. We are in 21st century. Everything is technology driven, right? So if you are not on the internet, the easiest source to do is Craigslist. Go on Craigslist. You have a very great tool called eEdge where you can use the listings of the whole office to advertise, to attract the buyer on those listings. Use that. 5 days, every day, 5 postings a day. What's wrong in that? It takes 5 minutes. It's just like you need to be in a system where you really want to make sure that my goal is to close 5 transactions or 10 transactions. You need to be goal driven. You need to calculate the money, the potential that you're going to make out of it, right? So first, how to find a buyer? Internet, open houses, right? Now, again, what they say is servicing buyers is inexpensive. All you're looking for is a gas and the time. Time is key, time is valuable. Again, it's on you. You can average it out. Okay, for the first, again, practice is key. So once you have first 3 transactions, you're probably gonna have a great idea how long usually it takes, right? On an average of 1 buyer. We committed, like if we are coming in the buyer consultation, we say that within 4 to 6 weeks, we'll find you a house. That's it. And then we know that 4 to 6 weeks is what? It's gonna close a deal. We are talking about 3-month commitment right there. Are you committed with that? If me and my team is all committed to you, are you guys committed? That's what we are asking the buyers right now, and we are getting their 4-month commitment without even any objection. So the thing is, you need to educate, you need to plan ahead, you need to know and educate them. Okay, the home buying, if you're ready right now, it's probably gonna take full 3 months just if you're ready right now. We may end up getting lucky in the first week to find a house, but we may not end up finding a house in 4 weeks, right? Time. Value your time. And if in your pipeline there is 5 or 10 buyers, you really need to focus on, okay, what is it that I need to do? Maybe pick a day for each buyer, or, obviously buyers love to, control your schedule. Don't let them do that. If you have 5 buyers, or if you have 7 buyers, you can say, hey, they don't know. Or you can say, hey, you know what, I have valuable clients like you whom I'm helping very diligently. And for you, I have choose like, okay, Tuesdays is my day, or Saturdays is my day when I will be showing you the houses. Would that be okay with you? If they say, okay, Saturday is fine, great. Assign the Saturday to them. You can fit 2 buyers on a Saturday, right? You cannot fit 10 buyers in a Saturday. Let's be realistic. So timing is key. You need to very structurally organize yourself how you will be utilizing your time, right? So again, once again, if you have 5 buyers, assign the day. Ask them up front so that they don't think that you're flaking on them. So that they don't think that you're not committed to them, because you're asking for the permission of them up front. To say, hey, Tuesdays, I have like buyers that I'm helping diligently, and they are in my pipeline. So right now, Tuesdays or Saturdays or Fridays works for you. Give them 2 choices. Okay, would you prefer in the mornings or in the evenings? Ask for a choice. Give the value that they want. Nobody will be asking them, right? If nobody's asking and you're asking, where you're positioning yourself at a very great level. Because our business is service oriented. And if we are providing that service, it's going to work. Keep in mind, if you have 15 buyers and out of those, like 3 didn't work out and the personality don't click, shake off, move. Right? Never ever take yourself in a position that, oh my God, they don't like me. That's fine. We all are human, right? Susan may like me, Randy may not like me. I may have done the same thing, but it didn't work with Randy. That's fine. I did everything myself. Shake hands, be friends, done. No hard feelings. That's it. Good luck. I hope you will find somebody else who could help you, right? There's going to be in a situation where they don't value your time and they think that you're flaky, or they think that, oh, you know what? No, you're not giving the value. There is no win-win there. Shake it off. Move on. You would focus on working with motivated buyers who are willing to work with you, instead of unmotivated or motivated buyers who are not willing to work with you. Are you getting the best value of your time by working with unmotivated and unwilling buyers? No, you're not. They're going to buy a house, if not in 6 months or in a year, with the regret that they didn't listen to you. So you need to show full confidence. What you're doing is professional, and you are an expert in real estate. You know how it works. And if they are controlling you or your time and how you work, great, there is no win-win there. Shake it off. Don't feel that it's like ego, or don't feel that, oh, you know what, that's strong. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. It's just going to bring the negative things with you along with that communications that you're going to have. If they are not happy, if they're not happy with you 1 or 2 times, that's the time where you need to shake hands and be part as friends. Simple. Okay? Now, again, the third thing they said, that earning with buyers is quick. If you do it right, in a great buyer transaction, you can help that person find a home and write an offer in 1 day. That's where, when I say that, if you have 5 or 10 buyers in your pipeline and you're averaging 4 to 6 hours, on one, or 10 hours, depending on the buyer is, there might be a situation where you find highly motivated buyer who got upset with Cal because she was not doing what I asked her to do, but they find a house with Randy in a day. Great, work it out. You're gonna get those buyers, because we got those buyers too, right? So there are gonna be weak moments and there's gonna be a strong moment. You need to take the advantage of both those moments. If it's a weak moment that the buyer got upset or didn't like Cal or doesn't work with the team or whatever and go to Randy, hey, they're already at the point where they've already been educated and they know what to do, but they were not listening. Now they're gonna listen to you. Get them in contract, right? So they're gonna be a buyer who's taking your days, and then there's gonna be a buyer who take your only one day and you're in contract. Keep in mind, your work is still there until you close the transaction. Make sure you take the full advantage of the mentorship program in order to complete that transaction successfully. So first three, highly recommend that. Do it. It's gonna help you. You're gonna learn a lot, right? Now, again, they say knowledge is power. As long as you are educated, you know what to do, it helps. Okay, the next one they're talking about, again, the Ignite, it is to the deep level. There's tons of things that we're gonna touch today. There's tons of things that you're gonna learn today. Pick the ones that you are not doing right now, do it. Either it's 2, 5, I would say minimum 2, or maximum 5. Write it down. I know at every training we all got geared up and then we're done after that. Don't do that. Just make it very simple. Pick 2 and do it. Now, they say that, okay, what you can do is you can choose the area of specialization. Then what you need to do is you need to do the market research in order to help the buyers. You need to complete your buyer's guide, and this is what we're going to touch every topic, and learn to qualify buyers in order to schedule them for buyer consultation. You have a free buyer's guide in your EH program. Do you know that? At the KW University, you do have free buyer's guide that you can print for your buyer. Keep in mind, it could be 30 pages long, but you need to pick 10 or 15 that values, and then the fact that you can bring the value to your client. It's always good to hand something to your buyer. Always. I love to hand a buyer broker agreement. That's it. Always do give them something. As of last year, I never did the buyer broker agreement. This year I'm doing it. And doing it very loud and proud. I do the consultation. I hand them the buyer broker agreement that they sign. Get the commitment from them for 4 months, period. They understand that it's going to take value, right? So you have buyer's guide in the EH program that you can go ahead and download it, right? Again, set your value proposition. What is it that you can do differently that others are not doing it? That is your own. You need to get that value proposition to your clients delivered so they understand that. What is it extra that they're coming from, right? So that is something I would say maybe your homework, do it. And it's not like you're going to give it to one buyer. You need to give that value proposition to all the buyers that you're working. Consistency is key. As long as you're doing it consistently, guess what? There's going to be a moment that you don't even think once and it just come out of your mouth. And I was in that position where I have to sit hours to think, okay, what is it that I can give it? Everybody gonna do the same thing. I don't know, right? So you just need to start it. All the top agents, they've been through that stage. All the agents who are making money, they've been through that stage. The value here is you are hearing the truth from the mouth of the agents who has done it. I was scared, seriously. I was at a moment where I was not even feeling that I can do real estate because I don't carry that personality. Time has gone. I still can recall that conversation with my husband. And he said, okay, if you want to go to the bank and make an hourly job of $10, go do it. And I'm so glad that I didn't choose to do that. It takes time. It takes support. It takes strategy. So again, you need to very diligently structure and strategize your goals, what you want. Write it down. It helps. If you don't write your things down, it's not gonna take you anywhere. It's not. It's that simple. As I said, even if you say, okay, I only have 6 months now, I can do 2 deals or 3 deals or 5 deals, write it down. Make that your goal and hit that goal. Don't count those, the beliefs, the negative beliefs that, oh my God, it's only 6 months and the peak season is gone and the holiday is coming on. That's fine, people buy. Those are your limited beliefs that you're thinking that you can't do it. If you go over the statistics, the real estate is still going on in the holiday season. As a matter of fact, we do hear from the agents they make more money in the holiday season because everybody else is not working. They already got hindered by the limited beliefs that nobody gonna buy it. And there is a best buy that you can get for your buyer in the holiday season than anywhere else. Write your goals. Do the maths that you're gonna make the money out of it. That's what motivates you, as long as it's written. So do that. Okay. Now, so when they say that choose an area of specialization. So first, this is what's your niche? Are you going to specialize in a geographic location like a neighborhood or a part of a town? Or position yourself demographically, for example, with first-time home buyers or investors, or by property type like condo or waterfront. In Yuba City, I know there is not too many agents who just like specialize in one area. So this realistically applicable to different part of towns as well. Here, I don't know about Grass Valley, the demographics or anything like that, but here there is very less custom homes. There is very limited number of condos. So all the agents who are doing here, they are doing everything. They are doing like investment, like 4 units as well. The only specialization or distinction that I would say is the residential and commercial that I have seen. There is not like, okay, the agents that just like work exclusively for condos. Very few. So I would say, based on the market that we are at, just specialize in the neighborhood, for sure, if you could, but make sure you keep consistently doing it. Geoforms, the production, the result that you're gonna get out of it, they say average is 6 months. So that means you have to commit yourself for 6-month marketing piece. Or if you're doing, like there is tons of ways that you can specialize in a neighborhood or a geoform. First, the marketing piece. Second, you can, organize a garage sale. Just, send an invite, hey, I would be help organizing the garage sale and help the neighborhood in doing a garage sale. Do the open house in that neighborhood exclusively. Knock the door in that neighborhood exclusively. These are time-consuming activities, less costs. It's less expensive. But then at the same time make sure you be realistic. It's gonna take you 6 months. If it's sooner, high five. We beat the results. And yet if you couldn't got anything in the first month, second month, third month, usually people give up at the third month. They do. And it's the nature. You need to commit yourself. That's why it's very important to do anything. Do it with commitment. Structure it. Put it in writing what it means to you. And what is it that you're going to do? If you are choosing doing open house, do in that neighborhood. At least a minimum of 2 times a month, if not 4 times a month. And if you're doing an open house, that means you're getting a great opportunity to knock the door with an invite that, hey, I'm hosting an open house in your neighbor. If you got a moment, come by, check the house out. And as a matter of fact, there is a right opportunity for you to choose your neighborhood. If you know anybody, let me know or call them up or send them over. You just need to be very specific. task oriented, goal oriented. Whatever you are doing in real estate, you need to set a goal. If you're saying that I'm gonna target like 100 doors, door knocking, great, target it. Let's see how many people. Then you have to, what you need to do is you have to track it down. Out of those, first, get the map, which road that you're gonna cover, the 100 doors. Second, see how many people that you got hit at that door knocking. Third, figure out, okay, is the morning works out for the door knocking or the evening works? Okay, if I'm hosting an open house on Saturday, that means Friday is my day for the door knocking. What shall I do? Write it down. People on Friday night, they would love to go out. So late evening, most likely not gonna work. I don't know, I never did the door knocking. And yet I know that Karen and Jillian, you have done the door knocking as well, right?
3 to 5 is an awesome time.
There you go. See, 3 to 5.
Especially when school is in session.
Mm-hmm.
People are coming home from school and home from work, but they haven't quite gotten to dinner yet.
There you go. Do the door knocking in 3 to 5 time frame. Jillian already proved you that. That is what the beauty of Keller Williams here is. We learn what works. We share what works for us. In that way, you are not like, if you are starting first time and you're doing a door knocking at 12 to 1, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. You know Jillian said it's 3 to 5. Okay, next time I'm gonna try 3 to 5. And if you got great success, guess what? You see the value of being here and share and be trained on. So try the door knocking. Whatever you do, again, do with a goal. If you're not achieving your results, there is something that needs to be done right, which was not done before. Don't give up in a month or 2 months. Assign yourself 6 months. And keep in mind, if 6 months since you are like new, if in 6 months you are going through all the training, you're getting your goal set, you are task oriented, and you're asking all the questions that you're supposed to, by the time 6 months came in, you already geared up. You already know what to do. You already have your pipeline. On average, you will be closing at least 1 to 2 deals. So that is what you need to make sure that you understand that. We can do, this is the majority of the agents, they are busy in real estate, not doing real estate. And that is so true. There is too much stuff that you have to do that by the time the day is over, you are busy, 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 but there is nothing in contract. Structure it. Target your goal. That's what you need to do. Keep your limited beliefs all the way in one corner. If there is negative things around you, shake them off. Doesn't work that way. Focus on your goal. Write it up. That is it. You need to do how many deals you want to do and what's the money that you're going to make out of it. That's what motivates you. And then for that, you need to make sure that you do the lead generation part. Lead generation, calling is one thing. Open house is another source of lead generation. Door knocking is another source of lead generation. As long as you are targeted, what you want to get out of it, that's what's going to work for you. If you are not motivated that I'm going to go knock on the 100 doors, and you don't target yourself that I'm going to at least get 5 people out of it, it doesn't work there. And guess what? You're going to have a very soft approach to meet those and greet those people. And if you are doing consistently in the same neighborhood, people are going to know you. Nobody else is doing it. I'm not doing it. I know I'm doing open houses, but I'm not doing door knocking. And if you're doing that, again, you need to find your niche. Are you comfortable doing that? Right? There is whole other class on door knocking. What you need to do, what you need to cover yourself, how you could do your numbers, how you could, pick out the neighborhood that you're gonna do the door knocking. So make sure you keep educating yourself. And if you decided to do it and you haven't been to that class, ask someone. Ask the one, especially who has done the door knocking. Jillian has done it. I know Gru has done it. Pat, have you done it? No. Randy, how long you been in the business, my dear? You just recently joined?
This morning,
This morning. Hey, high five! And you are here in Cal. Okay. Now that's good. George, what about you, my dear?
Well, I've had my license since 2012, but I didn't do anything with it for a while because I was working full time.
Uh-huh.
It just really takes more time than I had anticipated. And so really I just started in May.
In May,
Yeah.
so see, and then you're taking the full advantage of all the classes,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I know Rahul, he's very new as well, less than a month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Susan, how long have you been doing it?
So I've become more like full-time. I just got my license in February, so,
Uh-huh.
but I was working and doing some other things, so full-time since like June.
June,
So-
so it's very recent, see, and I'm so glad that you guys take a very great step of educating yourself. Learn the things that we have done for years and now getting the results. Why not to start off right? Right? So, okay, so make sure, again, you can choose your area of specialization. Do it, right? So open houses, I know all the competition that we have here, Keller Williams is the one who is hosting more open houses. We see our signs on a weekend, no matter what. If I'm not doing it, Jillian is doing it. If Jillian is not doing it, Pat, you are not in the open house gear yet, right?
No, I've done a couple. but-
You have done a couple. So don't give it up. Keep doing it. On Saturday, I did it. 8 group of people showed up and I got 3 leads. One who is selling and buying and the other one who is looking to buy in Grass Valley. Their house is on the market. Elderly couple moving around were interested in the house, saw the signs, follow it, come, got geared up. And guess what? I already got their permission to follow up today on Monday.
I wasn't able to come to the Ignite on open houses, which I really wanted to come to, but I just wasn't able to. So how would we, I almost thought about volunteering for the one that was in Plumas Lake that was, recently somebody in the office said, I need somebody to cover that. But I really didn't know first thing about it, so I didn't want to jump in until I felt like I knew, was more comfortable in terms of knowing what to do and how to conduct it and that kind of thing. So what would you suggest to get ready for something like that?
I would say shadow somebody.
To
first.
shadow somebody? Okay.
First 2 open houses, shadow.
Okay.
And it was a whole class. I would say shadow somebody.
Yeah,
It's gonna help you.
okay.
Organizing, the signs, how you're gonna greet people. And again, it's a complete event. If I start talking on open house, oh boy, I'm gonna take off. So I would say, George, the best way, shadow somebody. And when we're gonna offer next class, come on over to that class. Ask Jillian, just have a conversation. Ask Gru is doing it. So ask me, I don't mind talking about open house. Shadow first before you head as a volunteer in it. That's gonna help you, right? Now, again, this is going to the more deep level. Do your market search. When you're talking with the buyers, you need to know what type of inventory do you have? What type of price point is going on? What type of competition is it in the market? That you have to educate your clients so that they don't entertain to ask, can we write 180 on a 250K home? You need to very, very be diligently doing your search so that you can educate your client. It's important. They don't know. They think if somebody is saying the prices are high, everybody is saying the prices are high. If somebody is saying, oh, you know what, no, we're gonna wait, everybody gonna say, oh, we're gonna wait. It's you who's gonna have them understand that, hey, the market statistics shows that right now there is only 15 homes in this neighborhood that you're looking in your price range. That means only 15 homes would qualify what you want. Out of those 15 homes, 5 they got onto the market like a week ago, so the chances are the seller will not be willing to entertain a lowball offer. So if 5 is just new, 10 is there, how about, okay, let's take a tour of those and you need to strategize, okay, are they A buyers, B buyers, or C buyers? That is what you're gonna do in the buyer consultation. And buyer consultation only take like 30 minutes to an hour depending on what you're gonna cover and what type of buyer and what type of questions they have. But you need to very, very highly recommend your clients that, hey, it's gonna save us hours of time in 30 minutes that we can cover how the whole home buying process is gonna work. It's very important to have that consultation. Otherwise, because the reason why I said that, the minute you analyze what they're looking for, their top 5 must have, I tell them, hey, you know what, I would love to get your dream home, but I'm so sorry there is no dream home. I said them no right away, but in my way, right? And they laugh, and I laugh too, right? So the point of bringing that over is because if you can ask them, hey, what are the top 5 must-haves that you're looking in a house, and they put it over, they'll say, hey, okay, I'll take one more. So that when you're showing them the house, you can say that, hey, I showed you the house that meets your top 5. Remember, we have that conversation that there is no dream home. So if you don't like the carpet of this house, and yet this house, it meets the value and the price that you're looking for, guess what? It's barely gonna take you like $1,000 to replace that carpet. Would you really want to lose that house for that $1,000 and get in a position where you end up finding a very great home, $15,000 more? Would you like to do that? It spins their head around. They think 2 times before they say no. And if they say, and then if you are like that saying, oh, you know what, okay, we'll check something else. Guess what you did? You just have them control how you work. You just have them control that, okay, they are the professionals, they are the only one looking the houses in the market, and you don't know. That is what you need to understand, how the market statistics work. That's very important, how you could go ahead, always ask the question. Have them answer it. If they're saying, okay, like for example, carpet, okay, always isolate their objection. Besides carpet, what is it that you don't like about the house? I don't like the paint. That's another cosmetic thing. Remember at the buyer consultation how we talk about that we're gonna focus on your top 5 must-haves, and if there is cosmetic issues, we're gonna talk about it because that should not be a deal breaker. Say, if you got a house that's like, again, put them in a spot. Okay, maybe we could get the house where you like the paint of the house, and yet they're asking $10,000 more. Do you think painting a house worth $10,000? You need to have them ask, then stop. Have them answer it. So, Mr. Buyer, tell me what you think about this house now. I think we're ready to put an offer in. Good for you. And it is good for them because you help them realize that they're losing on a deal that meets their top 5, especially the price, the mortgage payment that they want to afford in, the area that they want to live in, and they are backing off or not considering to turn an offer in just because of the carpet and the paint? Does it make sense? And if they hire me to do that job. And if I'm not honest with them, I'm not doing a job. So that is again another script. You need to practice that. You need to be very confident. Keep the fear away that you may lose that buyer. You will be good in losing that buyer if that buyer is not listening to you. And I'm not saying that fire the buyer at the first spot. No, don't do that. In like 3-4 times, okay, the first time, even if you say that and they don't decide it, okay, what I'm going to do is, Mr. Buyer, I'm going to put that on my list, that what conversation that we have about that house where you like the whole floor plan and you back out just because of the cosmetic thing. In that way, and keep that in the file. Keep that comment, the date in the file. And when you do that, next time they do it, then you can say, hey, remember the same conversation that we have at 123 Main Street and we backed out on such a great house because of the cosmetic, do you really want to do this again? They will regret it. If you don't put in their mind, they don't realize what deal that they are losing out of it. That is what you need to do on it. So make sure that any house, if you're walking through, okay, they like it, always ask them, what is it that you like about the house? What is it that you don't like about the house? Then narrow it down. Is it something cosmetic? Forget it. Cosmetic, you should not give up on a house on a cosmetic. I already gave you the script. But if it's something like AC, then I would be very diligently asking the seller about it. Okay, I know you mentioned about AC, and then what we can do is we can, put in the contract that the seller should give the warranty. The AC looks old, but it's working. Obviously, I'm not an inspector. You're not an inspector. Just to be, diligently serving what we're looking for, we can put in the contract that seller to provide a home warranty that covers the AC as well. And also, we're going to do a home inspection. So those topics, don't put them at the hot spot. Cosmetic, I won't let them go. If they're, if they're niching about, okay, no, that doesn't work, this doesn't work, I'm not gonna let them go without asking that question. But if it's like AC, the roof, the foundation, the crack in the wall, or the leak in the ceiling, I will take it very diligently and serious, on a very serious note. Because at the end of the day, you're helping the buyer to find a house that they're gonna live in. They are binding themselves for 30 or 15 years. So those are the things, the high buck items, don't let them go easily, otherwise they're gonna haunt you. So make sure, cosmetic, take it to a very, very strict level. The big buck items, diligently, thoroughly do your job. Because as I said, every buyer is different. Right now, what's the number one thing that the buyers keep in mind? What is it? Share with me. What you guys think that the number one thing that the buyers were thinking constantly while buying a house? Josh, can I start off with you?
Well, I mean, they're thinking about price, but they're thinking about neighborhood. If they have kids, they're thinking about schools.
Okay. Raul,
My main one would be price.
Jillian, what you think?
Well, the value, what they're getting for the price.
Okay. Pat?
What the market's gonna do after they buy the house.
Okay. Randy?
Price perhaps.
Susie?
Price too.
Eventually, it comes down to the price and the mortgage payment that they're gonna make on a monthly basis. We do end up having clients who end up buying a house not in the neighborhood that they want, but they are thinking that eventually they're gonna build the equity and they may flip it down the road, but this is something that they can afford right now, and the mortgage payment that they're gonna get, it's affordable. So keep it in mind, nail it very hard on the mortgage payment. Sometimes, and again, there are buyers who don't care much about the mortgage payment. They really care about the house, and they want the house like their dream house, which we already tell them there is none, but they still want it. So those clients, they don't mind going over $50,000. And for them, again, script. Okay, if you are comfortable going 10 to 20,000, because we already know what's the max they can go on an approval, what's their comfort zone or a preferred zone, so that there is a cushy room. So even if they say, if I'm looking for a buyer who prefers to do 250 and get their approved for 300K, and I know that they're gonna buy the 300K house, guess what? I'll sell them that 300K house. If there is a family who is approved for 300K, but they have 5 kids to take care of, and they say that, Cal, we want at that budget, I would not recommend them. And yet, if they like that house, I could certainly say that, hey, for this much price difference, it's gonna make this much difference in your mortgage payment. Are you comfortable with it? They say yes. Great, I did my job. Take it. So you need to qualify your buyer. You need to know your buyer. If you don't know their motivation, if you don't know that they're qualified, if you don't know, okay, what their taste is, you end up spending double the time in having that buyer find that house, while strategically you have bought 2 buyers that house in that time frame. So that is why it's very important to know your buyer, do the buyer consultation, do the market research. So this market, like market research, they're talking in detail about list price to sales price ratio. And these 3 things I'm gonna go, line by line, because they are like more maths. So they say that keep these statistics updated on a monthly basis, weekly, even daily basis. It's your job to know these numbers. And in the open house class, I do recommend that keep Tuesdays. Here is the broker tours is Tuesdays. So keep Tuesday your day to know your inventory. What is out in the market? Go meet and greet your fellow agents who's gonna help you and who you gonna help them to make a transaction. So Tuesdays is the day where you can physically tour the property. Set aside that day. You need to know your market. You need to know, okay, so that while, if you have toured the property already at the broker tour, guess what? If your client is out there and say, hey, you know what, we saw this house at 123 Main Street, but we don't like that. We don't like this house. I think we're gonna like that house. So if you already know that house has a big leak in the roof, what you can do? You can close them right away. You know what, Mr. Buyer, I absolutely understand that you are showing interest in that property. Guess what? Being a specialist in real estate, I have already toured that property and there is a roof leak in that property. Would you like to take a tour of that property? What you did, you bring the value proposition first that you are an expert, you know your market, and even the house that your buyer has not toured, you already give them the inside scoop of it. Are you gonna stand yourself as a professional? Yes, absolutely you're gonna. Because you already tell them, okay, they're thinking about it and you already know about that house. Okay, no, we still want to do it. Okay, let's do that. That house is vacant. We can go to that house right now. In that way, you can make a decision whether you would like to consider this house and write an offer on this one or that one. What you did, you put in their mindset that right now we are dropping down to 2 that you're going to choose to write an offer on. Okay, it's all about how you read your client. So how you know your inventory. If you have not known about 123 Main Street that there is a roof leak, guess what? You're gonna say, okay, let's go take a tour. And you're gonna find that there. Then what you did is you just lose that opportunity where you already motivated your client that this is the best option, write an offer on that one. You already lose that. So the good thing is know your inventory. Know the market. They say tour 10 houses a day. A week, I'm sorry. 10 houses a week, it's in your list. Tour it. You can easily do it at the broker tour, right? So this is list price to sales ratio can help buyer decide what to offer on a home, and they can help you educate your buyers on how much they can reasonably expect to negotiate with the sellers on price. I don't know how many buyer's agent or the seller's agent they're using this statistics. Usually the buyers or the sellers, they have their set mind, they only want this much or they only want to offer this much. But if you have that graph, Justin teach that class how you get the trends report. They give a monthly trend report where you can see, okay, what's the percentage on average for list to price ratio. So say if it's on average right now, it's 96 to 97%. That means if the house is 400K, it's selling for 96 or 97K. So that gives what, if you show that graph to your client, what you can say is, hey, you know what, on average, if we see the trend, like, and when you see that trend report, it's a trend report for the whole year. It's not trend report for 1 month. It's a trend report for the whole year. And if you see the graph, and usually the graph shows there like 96, 97, 98%. So you can say, hey, you know what, Mr. Buyer, they are asking for 200K. If the house is only on the market for 1 day, forget you're gonna get 96% per, offer price. That doesn't work. Educate your client. If the house is on the market only for a week or 2 weeks, don't write a lowball offer unless if you have a cash. It's waste time. It's hitting their emotions, no matter what. So you need to tell them, hey, you know what? These are the graphs that's showing what's the list price to sales ratio is. That's saying that eventually on average on a monthly basis, the houses they are selling for 96% or 97% of what the asking price is, excluding the one that just got onto the market week ago. You're already planting the seeds for them, right? Now, the next one that they say is that you need to keep a track on is average days on market in different price range. Buyers are generally interested in how long a home has been on the market. Guess what? They have their negotiation hat on all the time. All the time. Because of the technology, they say, oh, this house, we've been looking on the market for like months. What's going on with that house? Okay. You're watching how long it is, so that means you're thinking about buying that house, right? Great, let's check it out. You need to script yourself in a way that every sentence that you say, it means another closing for you. That's it. Get yourself out, how you want to sell real estate. It's a huge potential. You just need to script yourself in your own way. And keep in mind, everybody, they can read you. If you're flaking it out, they know you are. They know. And if you're being real, guess what? The real person, they got more appreciation than the flaky ones. If I would be saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to recommend you to write an offer on a property that just got onto the market for 200 and you would like to write an offer for 180, I'm not doing my job. You're not going to get that house. Do you want to lose that house? Guess what? Very few people, again, say the honest up front. The reason why I'm saying that, I'm not afraid of losing those buyers. I'm more afraid of getting the frustration that comes in play if we keep on doing the same thing on 5 houses. I'm afraid of that. I'm not afraid of losing that buyer. So be real. Facts and numbers, they talk. So if they are in Ignite, if they're saying that know your numbers, there is a reason why you need to know your numbers. So what it's saying is, okay, so see, if the house is on the market for 60 days and there is no offers on the property, guess what? They're going to say, okay, you know what? They're asking for 290, let's put 240. Bam. $60,000 difference, $50,000 difference. Okay, we can do it if the house is on the market. I won't be afraid of doing it. But if the house is on the market just a week or less than 30 days, now you're going to lose it. Educate them. And then again, there are clients that say, oh, you know what, we still want to do it. Okay, let's do it. Make sure, when I say, and I'm not giving the impression that absolutely say no. Even if they're willing to, you need to educate them. The statistics shows that on average, the houses stay on the market for 30 to 45 days and they got in transaction. So the chances of the seller getting the asking price offer is higher in 45 days than compared to 60 days. That is what it means when they ask you to track the average days on the market. Are you talking the number language? Yes, you are. Do they believe you? Yes, they do. If you are showing the graphs to them, does it make sense that these are the graphs that you have not generated, but the graphs based on the real market that we are in? Yes, it makes sense. Right? So then they say if a home is new to the market, they had better see it quickly and be prepared to make an immediate offer if it's priced correctly and is in a good condition. If a home has been on the market for longer than average, it likely has at least one of the three issues: price, condition, or terms. If your buyers want that home, they may be able to negotiate with the sellers for a lower price. Simple, plain it is. So if you know, track the numbers. Go to the trend, get that trend report on a monthly basis. Keep in your buyer folder that you always have while you're showing the houses, so that if the buyer is ready to make an offer, educate them. On average, the house is staying on the market for 45 days, so the chances of seller accepting a lowball offer or less than asking price is very slim. And then even if they say, hey, you know what, let's try a 5,000 less. Okay, 5,000 is reasonable. You can do it so that you can, find a middle ground. But if they say $10,000, then you can say, okay, you know what, Mr. Buyer, do you know if you're asking $10,000 and you're putting yourself at a position where the seller may reject it, and the reason being, on mortgage point, $10,000 only make a difference of $10 or $15 payment on a monthly basis. That means just skip one lunch. Would you like to take that risk? Don't do what the buyers is asking you to do all the time. Do the right thing. Do the things with the facts, with the numbers, so that you can prove yourself as a professional. If they don't listen to you, great. That's fine. Guess what? They do listen to you in the mind. They are just not ready to commit. And if you're having, again, these conversations all the time, then you're wasting your time. 1, 2 acceptable. If you're in a third position where they don't listen, fire them. Because eventually they're going to fire you. So very important, read your client. Every offer that you're writing, educate them. If you're writing a below price offer, or if you are, in a position where there are multiples, I prepare my clients all the time for the multiples. Hey, you know what? Don't set your heart and soul to this house because there are 5 offers on the table. The chances are 1 out of 5 that you may get it, but there are 4 others as well. If there is a cash, most likely cash is king. They're gonna accept it. Keep in mind, we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep looking. What I did, even after 5 offers, they didn't get accepted. Are they mad at you? No. They know that they were in competition. I told them, we're not going to give up right away. We're going to go for the battle. Let's see if we win or not. But don't put your heart and soul to that house, because there is already 5 offers on the table. Right? So I would not be afraid if our offer didn't get accepted. I'm going to make a phone call. You know what, Mr. and Mrs. Pai, I'm so sorry. I know we fight for it, and yet it didn't go through. Guess what? We already have 5 houses lined up to take a tour when you are available. If I would not have told them and say, oh, you know what, no, that's fine. There are only 5. We are writing a full price offer. We're going to get it. That means I'm setting the expectations wrong. I'm not preparing them. I'm just playing with their emotions. That's wrong. It's gonna make me lose that buyer if I don't tell them the truth. It probably be hurting up front if I'm telling that the chances are 1 out of 5 that we will get the offer, and yet they know that they're not gonna set their heart and soul to it because I already had that conversation. And when that time came, it's not gonna be a tough game to make that phone call. Now, number of homes on the market in different price range. You need to be aware of trends and have an overall picture of what is going on in the market. Be cautious about sharing these numbers with your buyers. If there are hundreds of homes available in that price range, do you really want to show them all? Okay, do your homework. Right? Do your homework. If their price range is like 200 to 250, see how many homes are in that area. Usually, like, usually they always have specifics, we want in South Part, or we just want in Marysville, or we just want in Plumas Lake, and we don't want double story, or we only want single story. So you can certainly, um, differentiate it and not get hundreds of homes, maybe get 15 or 20 or 25. Again, numbers talk. You need to have them realize, hey, you know what? In a range of 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single story in south part of Yuba City, there are only 25 homes. And all of those homes that got onto the market in this range, they got pending within the first week. So the point is, if we are checking these homes and if you like it, do me a favor. Make your decision right away, because you don't want to lose that opportunity to get that house. We might be in a situation where we end up having multiple biddings because this is the trend. The buyer's pool, majority of the buyer's pool, they are qualified for that much, like 175 to 225 or 250. Above 250, there is less competition. The buyers has choices. Again, know your numbers. Very important, right? And then, again, it's talk about price trend. Use local home values for the last 5 to 10 years to show how home prices have fallen or risen over the last 10 years. And let your buyers know whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. Everybody, whatever they say, if it's a seller's market, everybody says it's a seller's market. If it's a buyer's market, everybody says buyer's market. You gotta prove yourself what the market trend is. I know that from the trend report, I never use the 10-year one, I always use 1-year one. So I know on the trend report, you do have the choice where you could pick like the trends from 2000, like say 2005 till 2015. That will help your client educate them. Okay, you were saying that it's a seller's market as a matter, or you're saying it's a buyer's market, but if we look at the numbers, it's a traditional regular market where there is equity in the house that the seller carried, and it's a traditional market. So you need to get that trend. So I would say, get the trend report, get those trend reports for like Yuba City, for Marysville, for Plumas Lake, and Grass Valley, whatever the areas are, and put in your binder. So when you are out there showing the houses to your client, if something pops up, flip the page, because those trends, the 10-year trends, they're going to stay the same today and months after. So you have that tool. You can use it. It's the fact that, okay, are you willing enough to get up and get that trend and put your folder? Keep your binder up and running. Then market trends. Market trends will drive how buyers and sellers behave in the market. Check your MLS, talk with your team leader, and mastermind with other agents to keep your fingers on the pulse of market trend. Are sellers paying down points or buying down mortgages? Are sellers paying closing costs? Are multiple offers common? So these are the things that you need to generally know. And again, you can talk. Usually, trend is like up to 200K. There is multiples. If the house is in a desirable area, it's gonna go. If the price condition sells the home. Correct. We end up having a house in Oliver's area where the sellers, they were so scared that the neighborhood, it's just like dropping it down in the value when they originally bought, and they were so scared that I don't know how long it's gonna take. We end up having 5 offers for 2 reasons: the price, and second, the fact that the house is very well kept. Price helps because the mortgage, the buyers can afford it. And the condition, it just gives the impression, oh, the house is ready to move and we don't have to do anything. And buyers choose not to do any inspection. They are satisfied with the home already. Tons of variables that, matters, right? Now then they talk about, then if you check it out, you can role play, you can practice, I already go over that, how you could. And if you want, I can quickly read so that we have a, quick skill. This is average days on market. The reality is we have to evaluate each home you like and decide if it is a home for you, whether it has been on the market for a day or a year. A great home always sells, and it usually sells fast. So when the average days on the market is 30 days, that number does not represent all the homes because some of them sit on the market for 365 days and some will sell in one day. So these are the scripts that you can use up for those trends that you're gonna get out of the MLS. List price to sales price. The average list price in 250 is, I'm gonna say 245, but the average sales price is blank, and then you will see the trend report. It will give you what the list price and what's the average sales price that they're going for. That means that sellers are coming down approximately blank number of dollars. The reason I share this information is that I would prefer to turn you down now rather than disappoint you later if you think that you could offer $25,000 less than the list price and actually expect to get it. See, we are building that reality up front, that do not consider to entertain a lowball offer. So let me ask you a very direct question. If we found you the perfect home and the seller is not willing to come down about $25,000, how would you feel about that? It's all about setting the expectation, preparing your clients up front, right? If your list price to sales price ratio is better than the average agent. So when this is average agent, you can track your numbers. Okay, what is your list price to sales price? So if you're selling the houses, they will track the number down that how many times you have sell a house which is for 200 and you sell it for 200, or you sell it for 205, or you sell it for 190. They will tell you what your range is. Is it 96%, is it 100%, or is it 102%? So you can track that as well. So you are looking for a 350 home, aren't you? The average list price to sell price ratio is like 96% and mine is 98%. I'm going to save you 2% over and beyond what the average agent is doing now. Let's do the math. Then you can do the calculator, because this is something that you need to practice. This is exactly my scripts. They say the same thing, but in my own way, like how we did it. Okay? But I would say practice it, make it your own. You need to understand the numbers before you even utilizing that trend. I mean, we can print hundreds of pages of graphs and trends and everything, but if you don't know how to read those, there is no point using them. So make sure you sit down, go over these scripts, figure it out what it makes sense, and if you have any questions, ask, right? Then they talk about how you could be able to cover the local information. Make sure you know about the school districts, what are the local resources, put yourself in the buyer's shoes and see what they might be looking for. If they're saying, hey, you know what, we're relocating and we like this school district, you can give, the information of the school district, but don't comment on any of the school. With the technology, always let them know, hey, you know what, I will send you the link where you could find the information about the schools and stuff. And yet I would highly recommend, since it's, it's very important for you and your children about the school, go ahead. These schools has been ranked accordingly. Interview the agents, ask the parents and stuff, and take it. So, but if they say, so that means you need to make yourself more educational. If they say, hey, you know what, we're considering about the school. You don't even know which school district it is, you're putting yourself in a tough spot. Always come up with contribution. Give them something that they see that value. Don't let them go say, hey, go surf on internet. Guess what? You're going to be surfing on internet and sending the same stuff, so why not you do it and send it over? If they say, hey, you know what, always contribution. What I'll do is I'll send you a link of the schools that are, in the neighborhood, or for this county, or for this area. It's going to be rated, and I think that there could be some comments as well that you can find from the parents. How about you take a tour? And I would highly recommend to drive by as well. So you didn't say no to them. And even if you say no, they're going to go online and check it out anyways. So the same thing that they're going to do, why not you give them up front? Right? Then Then they say customize your buyer's guide. Again, I believe that you have to give something to your buyers so that they have it, whether it's just one-page flyer, a contract, or a guide. If you are in the beginning more comfortable with a guide, just give the guide, and that guide you can find on EH very easily. So they says that you there's going to be an introduction letter that you need to write about yourself. It's all about you, your home search, getting started, your lifestyle interview, your home wish list, ask buyers questionnaire, the neighborhood of your dreams, the home buying process, the mortgage and loan process, making an offer, closing 101, frequent ask questions, moving checklist, above and beyond what my clients say about me, why Keller Williams Realty, what's ahead. So that is the guide that you have the direct, access at the edge. Just check it out. And again, you don't have to like print everything. Just see the value, what you make it, and make it a nice booklet. Nice booklet. Just have 10 in handy all the time, and then give it to your client, or print accordingly, however it appeals you. So I would say, yeah, just get your home buyer's guide as well, right? Then the next question is about, qualifying and schedule buyers for the consultation. I know we are covering the topics about how the A, B, and C buyers, what is the motivation, how you can qualify your buyers. So it's coming like the next step, they're saying qualify and schedule buyers for the consultation. Countdown to payday. Leads to appointment, appointment leads to agreements, agreement leads to contract, to closing, and that's when you're gonna, get to your payday. So what starts off? Lead generation. Leads is your engine that's gonna help you get to your payday. If you stop doing that, or if you don't do it, nothing gonna happen. Simple. So you need to find your niche for lead generation. Again, you need to qualify. Once you got your leads, right, they say you need to qualify them. Are they actual buyers, right? Then they say schedule an appointment for a buyer consultation. I know it would work 30 minutes now than spending 5 hours finding out that they are not qualified buyers. Don't get into your car for a lead that you don't even know anything besides their name and phone number. Doesn't work that way. Keep your standard that any lead that you're gonna get, whether it's online or anywhere, that you're gonna show only one house to them, and that house, realistically, it's kind of point of your consultation point as well. Do not show them more than one house unless you know that they are not qualified or they are not ready yet. And yet, I would say that even if you show them one house, present yourself, put the impression in a way that they do understand that they are not ready right now or they cannot qualify, and yet you are the agent for their life. That's what you need to do. That's what our standard is. We show one house, and if it's the same point, at two at the same point, that's 1, 2 is fine, but no more than that, especially without pre-approval. No way. It's absolute wastage of time. So put your standards high. You're gonna show any lead. If they are meeting at open house, get them an appointment for a consultation. You need to qualify those, because at the open house, there might be time that you can talk, but then there could be a point where you don't want to lose all the leads that are coming in your funnel, and you're just like focused on one at the open house and letting 5 people go. Doesn't work that way. Always greet a lead. Always. Even if you are having a conversation, just say, can I excuse myself just for a few minutes? I'm just going to greet them and I'll be back. If you ask for permission, nobody say no. But if you ignore the people who are coming in, that's unprofessional, right? So keep in mind, any leads that you're going to get, you need to qualify. You need to get them to a point where you do the consultation part. Consultation is when you're going to find out whether they are A buyer, B buyers, or C buyers. Whether they are the buyers who are ready in 3 months, in 9 months, or above a year. What they're thinking about. Appointment, appointment, appointment. That's it, simple rule. So then it talks about qualifying, how you will qualify. Establish control of the conversation when a buyer calls by asking questions, right? Make sure whenever it's a buyer or seller, either you're having a conversation with a buyer or a seller, whatever the case would be, ask questions, questions, questions. Have them talk, talk, talk. That's what you need to do. Don't talk more than what your clients does. You need to ask the right questions. That's it. Let them talk. And that's where you're going to get the value out of it. Like, for instance, price. What price range are you comfortable with? Right? If I keep on saying, you know what, this is the prices that are common here, and this is, what I'm doing, I'm just losing the control. I'm not letting my client talk. So ask the question, what's your price range that you're comfortable with? There are two price range. One that they can get approved for, and the one that they're comfortable with. At the beginning, you just need to know what is that they're comfortable with. Then motivation. What is driving your decision to buy a home? Relocation, job transfer, upsizing, downsizing. 4 good reasons that needs a driving force. Other than that, whatever, it could be personal, but 4 are the average, very common one that drives. But you need to ask. Although you know, but you need to ask. Location. What neighborhood are you interested in? In that way, you know if they're interested in the north part of Yuba City, there is no point showing them the houses in south. Go 3 steps down. Oh, we are only interested in the north part of Yuba City. Great. Share with me why north part of Yuba City is more important or prior to you than the south part of Yuba City. Have them talk. Oh, we are relocating and we heard that the school district is good. Great. So have you already chosen the school district? No, we are in the process. Okay, then I would say, let me send you the link for the neighborhood school district so that you can leave that open, right? They just like, the reason why they're asking for north is, and we know that in north part it's more expensive and we would like to do more sales there, and yet their price range is $250. Do you really want to let them know that you will be finding a home for $250 in north part of Yuba City? That's why you need to ask these questions, so that you can relate. So if they say, okay, you know what, the reason why we only want the north part is the school district, and if their kids are not, in school yet, you have a very great potential to have them realize that the price range that you are comfortable with, and statistics showing that in the north part of Yuba City, the average sales price is $275. There is a $25,000 difference, and the reason why you don't want to choose the other part of Yuba City is because the school district and your kids has not gone into school yet. Guess what? You're giving them an option. Hey, open it up. Your price range is low in where you're looking at. We should look at this way as well. Make sense? So everything that you need to ask and qualify your client, you need to go deeper so that you can relate all the link. And based on your professionalism and the professional knowledge of the market, you can educate them. You are at the process where you're looking at it, and yet I would say keep this option open as well. Recommendation, worth recommending. And wrong recommendation doesn't make sense. So that's why they ask wants and needs. What's your home criteria? You need to know what they're looking at. Timeline. When would you like to move? If they are looking to move because of the school district in 2 months, you just need to be very realistic. Hey, Mr. Buyer, I would love to get you the house within the time frame, and yet the thing is, we are just starting now. You're gonna get the pre-approval, And the second, the fact that we have, check out the inventory, our goal would be to get in contract, but usually it takes 3 months. So are you okay with what you're gonna do for a month time frame? Do you have somewhere to live? You have family? Are you gonna rent? What your plan is? So you're not loosey-goosing them, okay, they said 2 months and you say, okay, we'll find your house. No. I told you, you may end up getting lucky to find a house in a week or 2-week time period, but what if it takes you 6 weeks? And their time frame is 2 months. Can you close a deal in two weeks? Unless if it's a cash, that's a different one. But if it's not a realistic time frame, you need to educate them. I would love to get you the house in 2 months time period, and yet I would like you to get prepared. What if we could not? Do you have a place to live? Are you gonna, your kid's gonna go to school what day? What your plan is, so that they know, right? So that's something you need to, timeline, very important. They may say, hey, you know what, we find 3 months to 6 months, we are already living with our parents, and the kids, they're gonna go to school, so we are fine. And guess what? Usually if they're living with the parents with the parents with the kids, their timeline is not 6 months, their timeline is now. Especially with the grandparents. Grandparents love them on the weekend to come by and spoil, and if they're every day, it's a pain. Because I don't know. That's what we learn. Few grandparents, they love to that. They want to stay with them, but majority of them, they're like, okay, we will be okay if you could just come on the weekend, right? So that's why it's very important. Be very practical. Ask them if they say, hey, you know what, we are fine with 6 months, okay. All right, what if we could find a house in a 2-week time frame? That means we'll be closing in 2 months. Would that be exciting for you? Guess what? They will say yes. And that's their time frame. You got the permission for 6 months, but they want in 2 months. So analyze those things. Financing. Are you paying cash or you're obtaining a loan? Very important. Do not show the client the house if they are not pre-approved, with an exception of 1 or 2 where you need to introduce yourself, give them a feel that you are working with the right person. If after showing 2 houses or 1 house and they do not present you a pre-approval, no. Don't cut them off. Just say, hey, you know what? Now remember the initial consultation, how I showed you that it's very important for you to get a pre-approval. Otherwise, I don't have the right to turn an offer in for you.
But pre-approval or just pre-qualification?
Either, or
Either
usually
one.
they give
Okay.
pre-approval now.
Okay.
Majority of them, they do.
Oh, okay.
Pre-approval.
Instead of pre-qual.
And then you really want the pre-approval, right? So again, you need to bring that value proposition back and back and back on the table. At every point when you are having that, the question or the objection that they can, oh no, you will get you and then they usually say, oh, my friend is a loan officer. Great. Everybody has a friend who is in real estate or loan officer. Who's yours? I just really want to find out.
And that doesn't obligate them to use that lender, right? If they get a pre-approval, they can go to a different lender if they want to, right?
Again, they can do that, but eventually if somebody is working, anybody can show the buyer house. You don't want that you are showing the house and they go and write an offer with somebody else, right? Always give them an option. Okay, you know what? Again, very common is, oh, my friend is a loan officer. I can get it to you when needed. Okay, great. I'm so glad everybody has a, family member or friend in real estate or a loan officer. So who's yours? Ask. How long have they been in their business? Hey, would it be okay if I could just make a quick phone call to introduce myself? What you doing? You're saving your time. You're making sure that you're working with a qualifying buyer. Right? They may have, in few cases, they may have a buyer or a loan officer who's they're right. And yet you need to bring the value. The reason why I'm asking for that question is if your friend can give you a pre-approval in a day when we needed it, why not to get up front so that if your friend is busy on the day when we need it and he or she is not available, then what? We are losing on a house. It's not gonna cost you anything. Why not to get it now? Keep in mind, your time is very valuable. If you utilize it, you will be making more than 100 to 200 or $300 an hour. It's on you who's gonna evaluate how much your hour worth in your end. If you don't set that standards or if you don't evaluate, and guess what, how you will evaluate that your hour will work? If you have those goals, if you have that income that you're gonna make, you can evaluate, okay, if you are choosing to work 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, multiply that and then get your hourly rate. You need to know those things up front because that's gonna motivate you all the time. Right?
Do sellers generally require that the buyer be pre-qualified before they
Yes.
accept an offer?
You
So
cannot.
you can say that, if
Yeah.
you're gonna, if you wanna be able to buy, make an offer right now, you don't wanna lose this house, and you have pre-qualified, you're gonna lose time.
Exactly. They need to know the value. They need to know that there is no cost involved in it. And they need to know that it's a cash in your hand. Why you don't want to, have that cash in your hand? I'm just curious. Right? So that's important. Availability. Are you already working with an agent? I usually say as a professional courtesy, you really want to ask upfront, are you working with an agent right now? If they say yes, I say, okay, I never ask for a name. Never. That's me. And if they say yes, okay, how do you like their service? Are you satisfied with the service that you're getting? Right. How long have you been committed for? Have you toured those houses? If they could not answer these questions, they are not committed to that agent. If they do, then they are. Don't step on their toe. They won't tell you. First, they won't schedule an appointment if they're already. First, they won't schedule an appointment if they're already working with an agent and they're very satisfied with the service. They will be very loud and proud saying that, hey, you know what, our agent has already been helping it and we'll be very satisfied with the service. If they are scheduled an appointment, there is 2 reasons, whether they are not satisfied with the service or they don't have an agent. That's why it's important in the consultation to set your standard up, to set yourself apart. Then they talk about how the A buyers, they are willing, ready, able to purchase. They will be under contract in a matter of weeks. A buyers are what will take you at least 3 months to close. So keep in mind, if you're working with the buyers right now, your paycheck is 3 months away. You're not gonna get a monthly paycheck. Unless if you have a pipeline that will producing every month a transaction for you, so then you have it. That's why it's important to have your goals. That's why it's important to make those 10 calls. That's why it's important to tour 10 houses. That's why it's so important to write 10 notes, and that's why it's very important to lead generate. It's gonna assign yourself, if you're a new agent, assign yourself 6 months. If you do it anything before, great, you did it. And there are agents who did it within 6 month time period. But 6 months is realistic, where you will be going through all the trainings, doing all the things that you're supposed to do, setting your systems up and everything. But don't limit yourself that you're not gonna get any transaction in 6 months. You gonna. It's on you. Right? If you got an open house or very motivated a buyer, you will be getting your paycheck in, like, if you write a contract today, in 2 months. Right? So B buyers, they are ready and willing but not able right now. Something has to happen first. Get their existing home under contract, wait for their lease to expire, or get cash from their tax refund. So B buyers are always motivated, they're ready. It's just like one thing that has to happen in order to click them to do this. So that could be, as they said, their home has to sell, their job is, getting transferred in 6 months, or their kids, they have to go to school at that point, or the tax refunds, as they're saying, or their lease is expiring, whatsoever. C buyers, they have no immediate need. They may have a very exacting situation. For example, if they can sell their property for a specific price or get a house on a street they have always loved. So C buyers are the cold buyers. right? Then they talk about, how, then on the side note, there is called buyer presentation agreement, an agreement that specifies the duties and the scope of service a buyer's representative agrees to provide to the buyer, as well as specifying the buyer's responsibility. In some states where there is no written agreement required, the agent will be presumed to be representing the buyer. And we are in that state. In California, it's not required that you would have to have a buyer agreement, and yet get in the habit of having that agreement, because that's going to protect you if at any weak moment your buyers end up going to an open house and writing a contract there. That means you lose that buyer, and yet with the power of the buyer broker agreement, you still can be entitled for a certain percentage of the commission if that agreement is signed within the time frame that they buy a house with somebody else. That's why I'm protected for 4 months. If they decided not to get that home, that's a different story. But if they end up at a weak moment making that weak decision, I still get entitled for the other broker commission, and I put 35%. Go do the work, I'll get 35% of your commission. And I already told the buyers up front. They know, they signed it, they have the copy. Educate your clients. Right? Then the next is called the buyer lead sheet. Here they, everybody has their own lead sheet and stuff. So this is one of the Ignite one. It says, the name, the home number, email that you all need. And then there are certain pre-qualifying questions. Has an agent taken you out and shown any properties? If yes or no, then, how's that going? Is there anybody else buying the home with you who will be living in your home? How long have you been looking for a house? Am I curious? Oh, sorry. Am I just curious? I am just curious. Why are you moving? Are you renting or do you own now? Renter, do you know when your lease is up? Owner, do you need to sell your current home before you buy your next home? Are you going to be paying cash, or you will be getting a mortgage for a purchase of your home? Then if it's a mortgage, then analyze the mortgage thing, right? What price range are you comfortable with? Is there anyone else who will be involved in your home buying decision? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 meaning you must buy a home as quickly as possible, and I meaning you are not sure you will be really buying anything, how would you rate? Oh, sorry, 1 meaning that you are not really buying anything. How would you rate yourself? Anything less than 10, what would it be to take for you to make a 10? When do you need to be in your new home? I would love to help you buy a home. In order to help you find a perfect home, all we need to do is set an appointment with all the decision makers so I can help you get what you want in the time you want. What is the better time for us to meet? Day or at what time, or alternative date, appointment date? So that information makes sense, right? So very important, few things that you need to take. Now the next one, it's about how you're gonna take control of the calls with 2 questions. So 2 things. They say that first, you are much more than a free information booth. Ask 2 critical questions immediately to take charge of the conversation. Are they in a market to buy, and what price range are they comfortable with? 2 questions, down to the bottom. Like at Ben Kinney class, he just mentioned that. You just need to know that any lead that they are coming, are you looking to buy, or are you looking to sell? If you are at my open house, there is something going on in your mind. Whether it's now or in later, it is buy or sell. Now it's on you how you get that information. So, and again, practice these things. It helps you. They say many callers are just curious neighbors or sellers looking for comparables. What price range are they comfortable with? Find out how much they're willing to pay before you tell them the price of the home. That way you can transition them into other properties. Otherwise, they will simply say thank you for the information and hang up. So whenever you got a call on your advertised, ads or online or anything that you do, never give the price at the very upfront. If they say, hey, I'm calling about the house at 123 Maple Street. How much is it? That's a typical call. That's what they want to know. What your thing is, all the agents, majority of the agents, they will give you the price right away. they do not convert a phone call into an appointment. They just lose that lead simply by giving them the price at the first place. So they say, oh, that's great property. What your comment would be? That's great property. Everyone is calling on that one. So are you in a market to buy a home? Guess what you did? You just completely distracted them from one question that they're asking to the point that, okay, are you buying? Right? So then if they say yes, then say, excellent. Real quick, while I look up that information, tell me what price range do you feel comfortable with? So what we did, just by having this simple script in your head, you learn two things. First, that are they buying and what's the price range that they're comfortable with, and you borrow the time while you're on the conversation, on the phone with them, right? So 250. Then they will tell you, oh, we are looking for 250. Then this will give you an idea, okay, whether they are approved. If they say 250, whether they're comfortable and they already done the mortgage calculation that this is the mortgage payment it's going to cost and they're paying that in rent, and they are at the realization factor that rent instead of renting, buying is an opportunity. That's why they're making a call, right? Practice the techniques. Then once they say, okay, great. How about if I could give you the list of the properties? I know this property is for 275. I can give you the list of the properties that are up to 250 price range. What's your email? Great. Okay, if in case we got disconnected, is this the best number to reach you back at? Awesome. Find out, okay, great. So is that you're looking to buy for yourself or your family? Then you create that conversation. Guess what? You just converted a cold call towards an appointment. Even if they say, oh no, I'm in a rush, I can't schedule an appointment. That's fine, Mr. Buyer. How about I'll call you like later this evening? Would that be okay? No, I'm gonna be at work. How about tomorrow? Great, I'll call you tomorrow. Then call them. You need to do that. And once you call them, schedule an appointment. The minute you have your first appointment face-to-face, half of the battle is gone. And it's just 2 phone calls. The one that they made, if you end up scheduling an appointment, great. The other follow-up. They say that for every lead, go for 10 days of pain if you really want to earn the business. Right? So that's there. Then schedule an appointment for the consultation. So no, I'm going to read that as well because it's a good one. Okay. If the home happens to be in their price range, so say if the home doesn't happen to be in their price range, I already told you the script, get their email, say, hey, I'll send you the email right now with a list of properties that are available on the market now, not the one on the internet which is like pre-foreclosure or, they are like not on the market. I'll send you the list of properties right now. Just give me an email. Right? So if the price range happens to be in their price range, then make an appointment for them to see the property and have a consultation. What you're going to say is the property of 123 Main Street is listed at 249K. Let's schedule an appointment to see the property. If 123 Maple Street is a perfect home for you, would today at 4 p.m. or Saturday at 10 p.m. be better for you? Great. Let's meet at my office so you can also review the properties on the multiple listing services that you might be interested in if Maple Street is a right for you. Does that work for you? To review the property so you can find the right house. And then it's exceptional for the buyer. So see what you did. You just converted a phone call into an appointment by just having 2 scripts in mind. First, you need to find out whether they are in the market to buy and what their price range is. And that is what you need to know from that phone call. That is it. And then again, it'd probably be uncomfortable in the first 2 phone calls that somebody got upset. Hey, I'm just asking for the price. You're going to get those buyers as well, right? Then you can say, hey, you know what? Wait, while I'm checking that out, give me a minute, I'll check it out. Then pause or give the price. Eventually, you're going to be comfortable, so comfortable that at the end, you won't feel that it's like something, rude or they could not like control you, right? Now then say keep qualifying and close for the appointment if then these realistically it's saying that home is out of buyer's price range, then you can say, well, that home is a tad above or below your price range, but I have 3 other properties right here in front of me that are in your price range that I would love to share with you, right? And then Again, it's all about the conversation that you're gonna create out of it. Keep in mind, any phone call that you're gonna get, make sure first, are they in the market to buy? If they are, what's their price range? And if you find their price range, send them the list of the properties that are in their price range and then follow up an appointment for a consultation. Or follow up an appointment to have them tour one property without the pre-qualified. So there is a system in place that you need to follow with all the phone calls, whether George is making, Randy is making, Julian is making, Pat or Raul or Cal is making. You just need to make sure that the calls that you guys are making, you're converting those leads. Your conversion needs to be very, very, very high, right? Then they talk about the pre-qualification and the pre-approval. I would highly recommend, not highly recommend, usually all the lenders, they do the pre-approval up front instead of pre-qualify. And if somebody's really nosy and they don't want to give you the documents, then the pre-qualifying, just punching the numbers in the system would help, like the way the bank does. Usually they punch the numbers and they don't look for any documents and then they take care of it. That's what pre-qualifying is, right? Then you need to set the appointment and qualify them. And then it talk about how you will be, handling your objections with appointment. So I would highly recommend to go over the objections that you're gonna get. Like for instance, I don't have time to come to the office. Can't you just meet me at the house? Because your goal would be, okay, show them one, that's fine. But the other one, and even if they're showing, okay, you know what, then set it up. Hey, we're gonna check the property at 123 Main Street, and after that, we're gonna head into the office for a consultation. It's only gonna take 30 minutes, and yet it will be saving you hours and hours of time just by educating how the whole process gonna work. And it's no cost to you, right? So practice these. Then it's oh, let me talk to my spouse. Usually, they make a bad cop and a good cop, and I will call you back. And then the third objection would be, I have already seen the house online. I just need to know if I want to buy it. So these are the objections I would highly encourage for you guys to practice these role play. Again, you have free access to your mobile app. You have free access to the MLS. So offer that, right? Always make the follow-up calls. If they're saying 10 calls a day, make sure even the people that come up at the open house make those calls. Every other day, give them a 10-day of training. Let's see what will work for you. What is the conversion? How many that you can get converted from 10 to 1 or 10 to 2? Again, even if 10 people showed up and you end up, closing one deal, your open house worth it. Your open house worth, I would say if it's a 3-hour and you make $2,000, it does work, excluding what excluding what we're gonna do with them. And yet it's just worth thousands of dollars right away, right? Door knocking, again, they say aim high. You need to aim high in order to be successful. Always keep the limiting beliefs out of place. There is no room for those beliefs. I can't do it, or I don't have the tools to do it, or I'm not financially strong. All these are limiting beliefs.
I was looking for that customizable buyer's guide that on EDGE. Can you tell me how to find that?
Yes, I think if you go under KW University.
KW University.
Yeah, and Jessica would be able to help you.
Okay.
KW University under tools, I believe, on the right-hand side, it will gives you, all the scripts, the tools, the guides and everything.
Okay.
Or go on KW Connect and search for home buyer's guide. It will pop up the result.
Okay.
Ask Jessica as well, she will be able to help you out, right? So again, aim high, shoot it, target, write it down. As long as you know, if we are in the class right now and next time when the Ignite come in and you're in the class and I ask you, okay, what your goal is, have you set your goals up and you have not, then that means, okay, no, it doesn't work then. Do it. Get busy doing real estate and not in real estate. And you can get busy doing real estate by closing the transactions. That's what you need to do. Target yourself. As I said, give yourself 6 months. You might end up getting in 3 months. Again, it is something that you have to do consistently. Set your expectations right. Then they talk about how, then Gary is very, a firm believer that how we need to just focus on our customer service. Customer service is not like pleasing all the time your client. Customer service is that you need to let your client know that you are looking for their best interest. If you are, emphasizing that this is the best deal that they're getting and they should consider it, the service is there in your back end. If I'm giving them a tough time on not choosing or picking onto the carpet and focus on the mortgage payment and the floor plan in the area, I'm doing a service for them, right? I would be disservice if they say, hey, you know what, Cal, on that day we checked out 123 Main Street and we just back out because we didn't like the carpet. And if I haven't asked about it, guess what? They lost the house. I lost my payday, right? So then they talk about, how you need to be, again, your action plan every day, your database, your phone, your daily planner, note cards, tracking, results, everything. You need to know these things. Start off right, start off strong to get it done, right? So then they talk about your job aids. It could be the buyer lead sheet, which we already have a copy in here, and then the buyer guide, how they talk about that. You need to build this is 10-4. It's like 4 habits with like 10 things that you're gonna do. Again, manage your database, prospect, follow up, and know your market. It's very, very, very important. And we are at a point where you will be sharing with me the two ahas that you have learned and the one that you're gonna be implementing. So I'm gonna start off with Susan here. Share with me what have you learned and what is it that you will be implementing.
So the lead generation, and how important that is.
Awesome.
So, implementing 10 seems like a lot to me right now.
Aim high.
But I can commit to 5.
Yeah, start off with 5. Give yourself like doing 5 phone calls, 5 people that you're gonna touch with, 5 people that you're gonna add in your database, 5 houses that you're gonna tour in a week, 5 notes that you're gonna write in a week or in a day, right? Start off with a commitment. And guess what? Once you start mastering like 5, 2, 3, 4 weeks, it's not gonna be jumping to 10 or 15, it's gonna be easy. In Bold, it's an 8-week session. They have us make a phone call, 20 phone calls every day, 100 contacts in a week. And they guarantee 4 transactions in that 8 week, and that is so true. So if you think that I'm gonna start off with 5, commit yourself and then aim it till 10. Build that habit. Good. You picked great, the lead generation and the 10 daily habits, great. Randy.
I like the buyer broker agreement. It seems just so smart to do that.
Awesome. I love that.
That's all the ahas I have written down.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I would say if that's your first aha, then you are on the right track as well. Because that is what you're getting the commitment from the client, plus the permission, even if they choose or end up in a weak moment where they make a weak decision, you still earn the commission. Awesome. So I would say master that. George.
Well, mine is probably just, kind of thinking in terms of the buyer, whether they're A, B, or C, so that I can kind of adjust the amount of time that I'm giving, based on that. You know what I mean? So, because I think I would have a tendency being new to probably give a whole lot of time to a C buyer and go, oh, nothing happened, you know what I mean, right?
Awesome.
Right, so that helped me a lot, I think, in terms of saying, okay, being able to adjust the amount of time that I'm gonna spend, what I do, based on their interest and their kind of immediacy too, right?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then this probably for me, I wanna do this, but, like you were saying, I probably would start with 10 a week and then build on that.
That's fine. See, keep your limiting beliefs on the side.
Right.
Don't say you can't do it. You have the full tendency to do it. It's just a commitment that you need and a mindset that you need. And we are in the role. We are in the role. Awesome. I love that, ABC. And I'm so glad you mentioned that you would hate to spend hours and hours of your time on a C buyer and you find out that they are C. That is
And
a-
you, I could see myself doing that, because it's like, oh, I got one, kind of thing, and, we're spending all this time.
Awesome.
We're not ready
We
yet.
love that. That's a great aha. All right, Raul.
For me, I would, starting out, I would build on my buyer's guide and
Okay,
have that ready to turn in.
To turn in.
present.
okay. What's the second aha that you have learned?
Uh,
And again, whatever ahas we are learning, it could be all of ours, right?
Yeah, like you were saying, the prioritizing buyers
Your
and
buyers.
kind of recognizing that would save a lot of time and effort.
Qualifying them. Awesome. Love that. Jillian, what's your two ahas?
I like the buyer lead sheet, having something in front of you that reminds you of the questions that you need to be asking. Because,
Mhm.
you get into a conversation and you're like, wait a minute, I missed one. I have, we've gotten ourselves way into the conversation and I really should have started with this question.
Yes, awesome.
And
Yes.
then I really like the scripts. I'm starting to practice the scripts daily, and so having more scripts is a good thing.
Awesome. Love that. It's huge. That's so important. And I'm glad that, okay, yeah, we are creating all the conversation and you don't even know what's the best number to reach them back or what their email doesn't make sense. Oh my God, I lose them. Where they gone? I don't know. Awesome. So see, all the two ahas that we all picked together, it means something. Now we have how many? We have good 10 ahas. All right, Pat, you share two ahas.
I like using the trends to help them focus on the best price to offer.
Awesome.
And then I also like to put in the value proposition in the buyer's guide.
Awesome. So there is 10 ahas that we have learned, and if we can implement those, guess what? We got a great value out of this session. There are a total of 18, 12 more to go. Take full advantage from all the instructors that you're getting. It's huge. You're just like getting the years of experience in just 2 hours class where it could be more practical and you know thoroughly what are the basic things that you can get done. Keep in mind, you need to be busy doing real estate, not only just in real estate. So that will help. All done? Any questions? Any questions?
Oh, I did have a question. When you were talking about Craigslist and doing 5 postings a day, so I thought, oh, that's cool. So were you talking about getting listings that are like from your office, getting permission from them to put them on to Craigslist, right? With your phone number, right? And then you get phone calls. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
You need to get permissions to do
No,
that?
in Keller Williams, you have full access.
You
don't
basically
even
just take any of the listings that we have and put them on.
And then put here, all it's gonna show that it's a listing courtesy of say Susan, and yet George can post it with the number on Craigslist. So it's a Keller Williams listing. Keller Williams, our office, if you have eEdge, right, our office will give you all the list of the properties that are available right now, and then you have full permission to post it under your name. At the bottom, the disclaimer, it's gonna show the name, and yet I would highly encourage that, because that's in the game.
Or all those ones that pop up under the KW Realty, that shows as your local agent, George Shaw, right, that kind of thing. Are those all ours? Okay.
They're gonna, and then I would say if you haven't got to that point, sit down with Jessica to find out how to do that. It's gonna be another value tool. Do you take full advantage of the free leads that you can get? That's how we're gonna start off.
So can I ask another question? So like in our office up there in Grass Valley, I'm not sure, so I was going on to KW all the time, and I'm not sure there's a lot of agents that use eEdge. So I think there's one agent that does, and so she has like maybe a couple of her listings in there. If they aren't in eEdge, could I still like talk to like Cheryl and ask her if I could?
You can post onto Craigslist,
Yeah.
yes. I think, you just need to
I
get the
have
permission.
Permission from her,
Yes.
okay.
If they are already in the system, then we don't need it. But if it's not in the system, ask Cheryl, hey Cheryl, can I post your listings on Craigslist for the buyer's lead with my information and stuff? She should.
You can also ask agents to run companies, you just have to give their permission, because I've done that.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to put courtesy out at the bottom, but I usually put it way down so that it's not right there on the screen when they see it, they have to actually scroll down to see that agent's name.
Oh, okay.
So it's, yeah.
Interesting, okay.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So this was a 2-hour class? huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
okay,
the
I didn't
night.
realize that, okay. All the night, it was over an hour, but, okay, well, thanks, Cal, so much. It was nice meeting you. I'm sure I'll see you again. Have a great day.
Welcome, Randy. First day, first class.
First day, wow, first.
Good, my dear, all right? Good, how are you? Look like you just took the class? Yeah. Good, how'd it go? Yeah, it was great. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna be back down, that was my first one with tonight, so. Good. I've read through this stuff, but it's different when you're here and in person. I
I think so, because that's like, we're reading through, it's a great start,
Right.
but being able to plug in and run some of the classes, it's huge.
It kind of is inspiring.
Yeah, I think we all need a little bit of inspiration, don't we?
That's right, that's right.
Family, everyone's doing well?
Like, everyone's doing great, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I actually, are you next one?
Cool, well, that's huge.
So I'm supposed to close this week, but we've already asked for extension.
That's fine, we can start, so that's great.
Yeah,
And things are going great out there, and things just moving through. Yeah, cool. All right, well, stay plugged in, that's my only advice. Take care.
I have one question for you.
Go ahead, what's up?
So I've been just calling the hospital down here, in Marysville.
Yep.
The hospital's called Ride Out.
Ride Out, yep.
Where is that?
Okay, so what you do, you logistically driving wise,
Yeah.
so when you put up in the parking lot here, you just go on the road and go 99.
Okay.
When you cruise, they just go over the bridge,
Okay.
and then from there, what's the best way? Well, I'm just getting directions, I'm not just
Okay.
giving directions.
Okay, and I thought, you know what, I've got GPS.
Are you sure, dude? On Cruiser?
8-9-story building.
Oh, and it's on the right-hand side?
Yeah, well, just go to Bridge Street.
Bridge Street, okay,
You'll see that about two lights back up.
okay.
Hang right on that, just take it, it'll take you straight to the older bridge, go to the older bridge, mark something down.
Oh.
5 or 6 blocks in, you'll see the hospital right park.
Oh, okay, great, okay.
So what
perfect.
Justin's saying is, get on the freeway 99.
Yeah,
Instead of going all the way down to Cruise, so they can ride on the bridge, go all the way down, and
okay,
then you're gonna get a bridge to Marysville. Take that bridge, and when you go down, just carry on straight,
Yeah.
and you can't really miss it on the right hand side.
Yeah, you'll see, they got big signs telling people.
okay.
And if you get lost, just call the brokerage
I'm
back
gonna call
here.
you back.
Just grab one of the cards with the office number.
Okay, I got
All right,
it,
my
thank
dear,
you so
take
much.
care.
Have
All
a
right,
great
yeah,
day.
great meeting you, have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
you too, bye.
Thank you.